I'm Tony Nila. Welcome to the Autonomous Canine Academy. Have you ever witnessed an owner's dog waiting outside of the general market for his owner to come back out, all while ignoring distractions? Or how about a dog that gets separated from its owner along the street, obeys traffic, and reunites with its owner on the other side, all while ignoring people, food, and dogs? And when you ask the owners, how did you train that dog? Their answer surprises you. I've never trained my dog. He's always been that way as a puppy. He's an old soul. He just knows. But what if I told you that there is a perfect, you're perfect. But if I told you there's a perfect scientific explanation for this, and it's very powerful. It's called latent learning. Do a search for it on the internet, and you will be surprised how effective it is, even more effective than rewards and no rewards training. And this is our foundation of our Neuro Nurture program. Our Neuro Nurture program is a series of exercises designed to allow dogs to make independent decisions, enhancing their confidence, problem-solving skills, and ability to navigate certain environments without direct human guidance or training. Our course puts an emphasis on the dog's cognitive ability to make proper independent decisions without management training or tools such as treats or training collars. And this program promotes a dog's ability to regulate and control its own behaviors, emotions, and reactions without constant external guidance or intervention from its owner or trainer. This concept emphasizes the dog's innate ability to understand and manage its own actions, making choices that are beneficial to both itself and its environment. In a training context, our program prioritizes methods that empower the dog to make correct decisions on its own, rather than relying solely on commands or cues from a human. And this approach fosters a deeper understanding and internalization of desired behaviors, leading to a more harmonious relationship between the dog and its owner. We distinguish ourselves with a unique approach rooted in science-based psychology theories and traditional wisdom. Our methods do not rely on operant conditioning like positive reinforcement or training tools, often used by conventional trainers. Instead, we base our methods on shaping innate behaviors, free shaping, and latent learning. Shaping innate behaviors means we work with your dog's natural instincts rather than against them. By understanding and addressing the root causes of your dog's behavior, we can guide them towards more desirable actions. Free shaping involves rewarding incremental steps towards a target behavior, facilitating your dog's understanding of what is expected from them. And this approach is non-coercive and allows the dog to make choices and learn from them. Latent learning strategies, instead of operant conditioning methods where actions are learned through direct reinforcement or punishment. In latent learning, a dog requires new behaviors or skills without immediate demonstration of these learned behaviors. They are then able to apply this learned knowledge when a relevant situation arises. And this allows dogs to learn in a low-stress environment at their own pace, which can lead to more profound and lasting behavioral changes. The application of these concepts differentiates us from trainers who primarily use operant conditioning techniques, which can sometimes lead to increased anxiety in dogs. At the heart of our method of dog training is this three aspects of cognitive science: latent learning, behavioral genetics, and evolutionary psychology.
Welcome to our educational series on dog behavior with renowned canine behaviorist Tony Nila. Today we're diving into the fascinating world of dog behavior and how our understanding of it has evolved over time. Are you ready to learn something new about your furry friend? Let's get started. Once upon a time, scientists like John B. Watson back in 1913 believed our behaviors were solely shaped by our environment. Imagine being born as a blank slate, with knowledge being poured into you. This theory, known as behaviorism, was the foundation of understanding behavior for years. But here's the twist. In the 1950s, scientists realized a crucial flaw in behaviorism. We aren't born empty. Our genetic makeup plays a significant role in our behavior. Behavioral genetics shows us that certain instincts are hardwired into us. A baby knows to cry for its mother, and a spider instinctively knows how to spin a web. This is the wisdom nature embeds in us. So what does this mean for our dogs? It means understanding their behavior isn't just about training, it's about recognizing their innate abilities and instincts. Join me as we explore more about this fascinating topic and learn how to better understand and connect with our canine companions. Ever wondered how a pet learns to follow commands or how a child learns to associate actions with consequences? Well, you're in the right place. Today we delve into the captivating world of operant conditioning, a cornerstone of behaviorism and cognitive science, a field that revolutionized our understanding of learning. We'll explore their concepts, applications, and impact, as well as their limitations that led to significant shifts in psychological paradigms. So, buckle up as we embark on this fascinating journey of learning and understanding. Now, let's dive right into the world of operant conditioning. When we think about learning, we often consider it as the acquisition of new knowledge or skills. But B.F. Skinner, a renowned psychologist, saw it differently. Back in the 1930s, he introduced a concept that he referred to as operant conditioning. This idea suggests that learning is a result of the consequences that follow our actions. Imagine this scenario. You're in an arcade and you're playing a game that rewards you with tickets. Every time you score, you get tickets. The more you score, the more tickets you receive. This is a simple example of operant conditioning. The game rewards you for successful actions, thereby encouraging you to repeat them. Skinner took this concept further by introducing the idea of rewards and punishments. He suggested that if an action is followed by a rewarding consequence, we are more likely to repeat it. This is known as positive reinforcement. On the other hand, if an action leads to an unfavorable outcome, we are less likely to repeat it. This is referred to as punishment. Skinner also distinguished between two types of reinforcements and punishments: positive and negative. Positive reinforcement involves adding a rewarding stimulus, like getting extra dessert for doing chores. Negative reinforcement, on the other hand, involves removing an unpleasant stimulus, like turning off an annoying alarm by waking up on time. Similarly, positive punishment involves adding an unpleasant stimulus, like a scolding for misbehavior, while negative punishment involves taking away a pleasant stimulus, like losing phone privileges for breaking rules. So in essence, operant conditioning is all about learning through the consequences of our actions. It's a fascinating concept that has had profound implications on how we understand and influence behavior. Whether it's training a dog to sit, encouraging students to study, or even understanding addiction, operant conditioning continues to play a crucial role. But like all theories, it's not without its limitations, which we'll discuss later on. Like any other theory, operant conditioning too has its limitations. As insightful as B.F. Skinner's concept may be, it's not a one-size-fits-all answer to every behavioral challenge. There are certain aspects that operant conditioning fails to consider, leading to a few notable shortcomings. The first drawback arises from the excessive reliance on rewards and punishments. When we constantly use rewards to reinforce behavior, we run the risk of creating an overdependency on these external factors. For instance, if a child is always given a candy for cleaning their room, they may start to expect a reward for every act of responsibility. This can diminish their intrinsic motivation, the inherent desire to do things for the sheer satisfaction of accomplishment. Similarly, the use of punishment as a deterrent can create an atmosphere of fear and stress, which may not always lead to the desired behavioral changes. Instead, it can result in attempts to avoid punishment rather than understanding and correcting the behavior itself. Another pitfall of operant conditioning is its potential to encourage manipulative or even unethical behaviors. If the reward is enticing enough, individuals might resort to dishonest means to achieve it. It's like a student cheating on a test to get good grades. The very reward system could inadvertently promote deceitful actions. Operant conditioning also tends to oversimplify the complexity of human behavior by focusing solely on observable actions and immediate reactions. It fails to account for cognitive processes like thoughts, emotions, and memories, which play a crucial role in shaping our behavior. This lack of consideration for the internal mental state is a significant limitation. Furthermore, operant conditioning assumes that all responses are equal, which isn't always the case. Different individuals can respond differently to the same stimulus based on their personal experiences and interpretations. Therefore, while operant conditioning is useful, it's important to be aware of its limitations. It's a powerful tool in understanding and influencing behavior, but like all tools, it must be used wisely and appropriately, taking into account its potential drawbacks and the unique individuality of each person. Recognizing these limitations led to a shift in focus towards cognitive science. The story of cognitive science begins in the mid-20th century, when psychologists started to question the narrow lens of behaviorism. They began to realize that behaviorism, with its focus on observable actions, was leaving out an essential piece of the puzzle. Behaviorism couldn't account for the rich complexity of human thought, memory, and problem-solving. This realization marked a turning point. The tide began to turn away from operant conditioning and towards cognitive science. The shift wasn't abrupt. It was more like a gradual sea change, with the waves of thought and research slowly eroding the stronghold of behaviorism and revealing a new landscape of understanding. And what was this new landscape? It was a place where the mind's inner workings were seen as crucial to understanding behavior. Cognitive science looked beyond the surface of observable actions to explore the intricate patterns of thought, memory, and problem-solving that underpin our actions. The shift to cognitive science was driven by several reasons. One was the growing body of evidence that cognitive processes play a crucial role in learning. Studies showed that our thoughts, memories, and problem-solving abilities are intimately involved in how we learn and behave. Another reason was the desire for a more holistic understanding of behavior. Cognitive science offered a way to look at the whole person, not just their actions. It allowed psychologists to explore the interplay between thought and action, between the mind and the world. And so cognitive science began to take root, promising a more comprehensive understanding of human behavior. It offered a way to bridge the gap between the observable and the unobservable, between the external and the internal. And it opened up new avenues for understanding and influencing human behavior. Thus began the era of cognitive science, promising a more comprehensive understanding of human behavior. So where does this leave us in our understanding of learning and behavior? We've journeyed through the world of operant conditioning, delving into its principles, applications, and impacts. We've seen how it has shaped behavior through rewards and punishments, with its influence extending to classrooms and workplaces. However, we've also noted its potential dangers, including dependency on external rewards and the risk of promoting manipulative behaviors. We've explored the realm of behaviorism, which emphasizes observable behaviors and dismisses thoughts and emotions. Yet we've also acknowledged its shortcomings, namely, its disregard for cognitive processes, which play a vital role in learning. Then we ventured into the rise of cognitive science, a field that recognizes the importance of mental processes. This shift, driven by psychologists like Jean Piaget and Noam Chomsky, has led to a more holistic understanding of human behavior and learning. It underscores the significance of thinking, memory, and problem-solving in shaping our actions and decisions. In essence, both operant conditioning and cognitive science offer valuable insights into human behavior. They represent different facets of learning, each contributing unique perspectives. Operant conditioning helps us understand how behavior can be shaped by external factors, while cognitive science illuminates how our internal thought processes influence our actions.
This professional group is formed to assist canine owners in achieving the greatest possible relationship with their pets. And modern dog training is the process where great dog owners learn to understand what their individual dog needs to feel comfortable, fulfilled, and complete. Simply put, modern dog training pulls your dog away from base behavioral dependencies and empowers them with a really healthy mind. Sit, stay, down, come, heel. I mean, these are the 5 basic command words that most people associate with dog obedience training, but sadly, it is easy to see the simple mechanics of dog training without truly grasping why learning is actually more important than training. So let's take a moment to think about an alcoholic, for example. Imagine if I said teaching you how to paint will stop you from drinking. That would not be true. Right? The truth is that you would learn how to paint and most likely continue drinking. So treating alcoholism, for example, involves mastering a specialized set of skills, most of which help people deal with the underpinning emotional issues and discomfort that cause addiction to occur to escape discomfort. Ill-behaved dogs are obviously not alcoholics, but they are addicted to their own behaviors in a way that is as strong as alcohol dependency. More often than not, unwanted dog behaviors result from a dog's emotional need to engage in behaviors that fill a void, and this void is rarely addressed with mechanical words that enforce dog obedience. Canines, unfortunately, have been transformed into victims, and the pet industry has allowed fear-based ideas to shape almost everything now. As a result, our canines have been lost in good intentions. Real dog breeders have been replaced with glorified backyard breeders. Mixed breeds have been glorified by a rescue industry that seems invested in keeping dogs victimized. And online crash courses and knowledge assessment tests by popular organizations are replacing trainers with actual experience. And worst of all, some of the most influential dog trainers on earth can't even control their own dogs. So this is actually, how we started this group. And we were also in this group inspired by the work from an old school trainer by the name of Charles P. Eisenman. And after reading Charles Eisenman's book, we all realized what an amazing trainer he was. A trainer that did not believe in formal training just to have a well-obedient dog. Now, we have met hundreds of trainers every year who have called us because they need help with their own dogs and choose instead to focus on researching a canine's ability to learn everything on their own latently. Now, latent learning is an effective way to shape behavior. I honestly believe that canines learn almost everything they know latently, but that's a story for another conversation. Latent learning has already been researched by the scientific community, and it has been proven to work much faster than operant conditioning. So yep, you heard right. Science has proven that latent learning works much faster than reward-based training and non-rewards training. However, too many trainers only hyper-focus on operant conditioning. You see, dogs are never triggered by things outside of their body. Their triggers are inside the dog's mind, and that means that you should be able to handle those triggers without having other dogs or people as a distraction, or having one of your neighbors be your guinea pig. You don't need to proof a dog that learns latently. Proofing is an obedience training thing, so it does not apply to the work done latently that behaviorists do. Hence, a canine can be a great member of society with absolutely zero dog training. A dog that you can take anywhere, weaning yourself off of restrictive training tools and discovering what it feels like to own a dog you can honestly trust. When we switched to latent learning, so many of my results with clients' dogs just started behaving better, even though we had not worked on the behavioral issue that we were originally hired yet to do. Often they just didn't display the bad behavior at all before we even had the chance to work on it. So when trying to alter the behavior of any animal, it is vital, absolutely essential, that the selected course of action is stronger than the source of the irritation. This means that if your pet learned to bark wildly in a few days, the cure must be powerful enough to remedy the problem just as fast. If not, the problem always grows faster than the solution, and people get stuck trying to solve a problem for years. This is perhaps the most common error trainers make with their own dogs. With latent learning, you never need a tool, you are always safe, and you can achieve profound alterations in a canine's behavior without ever seeing any ugly behaviors manifest. So think of behavior like this. We'll use aggression as an example. Each and every dog's behavior is connected on a chain. Now imagine that there are 20 links on that chain. Your job is to find what link comes first before the aggression. Now, if you're treating the aggression, then you place yourself on the very link that you are trying to eliminate that puts you in great danger of destroying you or your dog's psychology. So you need to jump off that link that you wish to eliminate. Now, here's the problem. Most dog trainers don't know what link to jump to, and there are very specific links that attach a dog to its own behavioral issue or aggression. Once you know how to influence these links, the aggression just goes away, just vanishes, and you never need to subject yourself to any danger or anybody else to any danger while you're practicing. So in conclusion, I really think operant conditioning can mistakenly be an abusive philosophy in itself. If we were being studied and trained this way, no one would really understand the true essence of one's soul or capabilities. Dolphins and orcas are incredibly intelligent, and SeaWorld turned them into dancing monkeys. You would never know how incredibly intelligent they are by watching the SeaWorld show. Seeing them do tricks almost makes them look less intelligent, and you can never really see their problem-solving skills or how they perceive the world, right? So if owners and trainers are going to educate themselves, by reading books or surfing the internet, they should be the same books that students are required to read in a university. You should not be reading dog training books. Rather, they need to be books about animal behavior and learning theory. Dog training books are always biased, always. And I feel it's important for students to learn about the behavioral science first before they start to learn about dog training. That way they will be better able to see why some dog training methods are flawed. Right? If more dog training students took the time to learn about behavior before they started training dogs, they would better understand why the positive only movement was so flawed. So people need to learn the universal truths about observable behavior, and that's not happening. And that's what a behaviorist does, is they help you by observing behavior. Most trainers don't understand the difference between altering behavior and actual learning. A dog is not trained if you still need to use training tools or treats. If the training tools and treats are still in use, you have mainly learned control and management and not full rehabilitation.
Welcome to our journey through the fascinating world of psychology. Today we're diving into the groundbreaking work of Edward Chase Tolman and his research on latent learning. Edward Chase Tolman was an American psychologist who made significant contributions to the study of learning and motivation. Born in 1886, Tolman was a key figure in the development of cognitive psychology. Tolman is most famous for his experiments with rats in mazes. But why study rats in mazes, you ask? Tolman conducted these experiments to understand the nature of learning. He challenged the behaviorist view that learning is merely a mechanical process of associating a stimulus with a response. Tolman's maze experiments with rats introduced a new concept. He placed rats in a maze and allowed them to explore without any rewards. After several days, he introduced a reward. What he found was astonishing. The rats quickly navigated to the reward, much faster than if they were learning from scratch. This suggested that they had formed a cognitive map of the maze even without a reward. A cognitive map is like a mental representation of the layout of one's environment. Tolman believed that the rats had developed this understanding of the maze during their unrewarded exploration. This led to the concept of latent learning that occurs without any obvious reinforcement and is not immediately demonstrated. Tolman's work was revolutionary. It challenged the prevailing behaviorist view and paved the way for the cognitive revolution in psychology. His research showed that learning can occur in the absence of direct reinforcement, and that internal mental processes play a crucial role in learning. Edward Chase Tolman's work significantly altered our understanding of behavior, highlighting the importance of cognitive processes in learning. His legacy lives on in the field of psychology, influencing how we think about learning and motivation today. Thank you for joining us on this exploration of Edward Chase Tolman's contributions to psychology.
Before we get started on how to use latent learning with your canine, I first want to go over why food is not used in latent learning. No matter how a puppy misbehaves or how upset the mother gets with her litter, she will never stop feeding them or withhold food for lack of following a command. The puppies always eat before retiring to bed. She also doesn't provide food to encourage good behavior. Education is education, just as eating is eating. A canine mother knows best how to control and manage her litter with absolutely zero training. In regards to food, your puppy is firmly held by the smells because they fill both their senses and nostrils. Despite the fact that a puppy seems to pick things up and perform things for a food reward, a canine is incapable of latent learning in the presence of food. Instead, the behavior is altered with operant conditioning, a stimulation and response theory by scientist B.F. Skinner. But this has nothing to do with self-awareness or cognitive learning. Instead, your puppy is blindly conditioned, working in a robot-like fashion and not getting the opportunity of self-aware learning. Remember that in Tolman's rat maze experiment, the rats were not capable of creating a cognitive layout of the maze once they were aware that food was present. The food itself was distracting them from latent learning. While drunk with desire for the presented food lure, your canine will repeat a pattern of conduct in a zombie-like manner. Sadly, your dog will always need to be controlled and micromanaged with obedience commands with this method of learning. With the use of food, historically, your dog's training will stay at a substandard level. Additionally, your puppy is already wired and naturally motivated to latent learn from birth. Like any puppy, this curiosity is what triggers the learning process, especially when there are no substantial distractions such as food, rewards, or toys that draw your dog's attention away from the environmental learning at hand. Now, as we progress on how to use latent learning, it's critical that everyone understands that if they wish to help dogs without using tools or giving them treats, it can only be done completely latently, which means no dog training is required. I'm referring to operant conditioning when I say zero dog training. Other than operant conditioning, there are other ways to learn, which I believe trainers don't examine very often. Latent learning is not about what to do or how to do it, but rather about what not to do, such as the desire to protect your dog from natural environmental discomfort. Dogs need to experience and learn from their surroundings, but when you micromanage and blindly condition them to hyper-focus on you and your commands, you are constantly interrupting them from taking in information from their surroundings because you are selfishly bringing all of the attention back onto yourself, rather than giving what the dog's needs first before asking for your own needs and demands in return. Over the years, I've made some fascinating discoveries and relationships that have brought me to where I am now. I have learned that it is difficult to teach latent learning to owners and trainers who have been using operant conditioning for so many years, including myself. In fact, many trainers and owners wrongly condition themselves, not just their dogs, and become caught in a mindset that prevents them from evolving. Owners and trainers are so conditioned to think in operant conditioning terms that they can't see or understand anything else. It's as if you've gone back to square one and have to learn how to work with dogs all over again. Yes, you have to start over. And most owners and trainers don't want to, so they become resistant to change. Well, let's start from the beginning, and let's start with puppies. The puppy program. First thing we'll go over is destructive chewing. To stop destructive chewing, you should first cease doing whatever it is that is causing the chewing in the first place. This involves not buying or encouraging dog toys to begin with. I know what the majority of you are thinking right now. I thought I heard you mention that pups should not be given toys. Is it possible that I misunderstood you? Teething, boredom, irritation, anxiousness, and protecting your furnishings from being ruined are all fantastic reasons to play with toys. Yes, it's popular dog training advice all over the internet. But is there a latent reason why you shouldn't use toys? Absolutely. There is no such thing as dog toys. Wolves and dogs do not provide toys to entertain their pups. Toys disrupt a puppy's life and incidentally teach 100 or more undesired microbehaviors, such as becoming familiar with chewing man-made materials whenever they are bored and stressed or need stimulation. It draws them away from natural latent learning and encourages them to engage in non-productive entertainment-oriented activities. The worst of which makes it difficult for a puppy to understand the value of mental rest, not stimulation. Give a bone to a puppy. This isn't a toy. If the dog wants to use the bone as a toy, that's fantastic. That's excellent latent learning. Well, what is the takeaway? There's no need to develop compulsive stimulus reactive behavior or resource guarding when you can produce what you want with the resources you currently have, while also not having to hire a trainer for a future behavioral issue that you caused to begin with by blindly conditioning your dog and encouraging the use of dog toys for boredom, anxiety, or frustration. This will just educate your puppy that similar textured objects such as the rubber bottoms of shoes or the plush substance of your furniture are suitable outlets for boredom and irritation. Just you and toys have taught them. Fetching with toys that can be tossed are also completely detrimental to ruining a healthy dog's cognitive thinking. Toys are a completely waste of money. With all that wasted money, I'd rather buy a second puppy. There should be no hunting. Nothing should be thrown for your dog to chase, not even playing with a ball, which is a form of mock hunting. Anything that makes a young puppy go into prey drive is too much for them to bear. It's like handing the keys to the casino to your grandparents. They will break the bank, come back broke, and blindly condition to the inconsistent reward schedule of the slot machines. With an adult dog, the preceding guidelines will also get you started with a dog that already has small animal prey drive. It only takes a few seconds to figure out why squeakers are so appealing to dogs. Squeaky plush toys encourage your dog's natural hunting instincts. Terriers, for example, were developed to keep rats off the streets of the United Kingdom. When a little animal like a rat is being hunted, what noises do they make? When a dog recognizes when it's time to shred its prey, how does it know? For those who said when the squeaking stops, you figured out why dogs only shred soft toys when the squeaker breaks and stops working. Our domestic pets' genetic code is profoundly embedded in them. Any trainer working with controlled aggression, such as a canine protection trainer, is well aware that the best way to develop a puppy's protective instincts is to stimulate hunting using toys and flirt poles. They also advise against comforting and petting a growling dog since, as protection trainers, they're already familiar with how aggression is nurtured. Traditional dog training was pioneered by the military, but most dog owners want a self-sufficient companion that they can take camping, hiking, shopping, and dining with them. A hyper-focus driven dog is not what owners want while having family over for the holidays. The examples in the preceding paragraphs show how poor training can blindly predispose dogs to acquire behavioral disorders. Less is more when it comes to latent learning, the distinction between raising a puppy instead of training a puppy. Puppy mouthing. Ouch! I believe that pet owners should consider what they are doing to encourage undesirable behavior in the first place. Stopping the energy flow and the dog's behavior alters quickly once they figured out where the energy is coming from. Do you use a high-pitched voice to overexcite your puppy? If that's the case, stop.
We're going to learn to be able to play together, but in a bit more of a controlled manner. Whew, that was a chewy one. Ready? Playtime. 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 Yay! Good boy. Now he wants to play with the lines. I'm just going to move it. Try to provoke him with me instead. Yay! Good boy. Hello? Look how big you are. Oh my God. Oh my God. Hello, gorgeous. Oh.
When I do this exercise, I'm only doing this exercise because I've conditioned their behavior to respond by certain ways of me handling them and touching them. He's already relaxing in my arms because of the past training I've done. And I've been doing this with him, including his brother, Kiaya, who turned 12 weeks old. So my first thing that I like to do is, he's already getting lintfish on me, but I like to hold tight, and if I feel that he's relaxed, I just go relax. When he looks like he's about to move, I squeeze, it's like a hug, and when I feel his body relax, I also relax. So he's getting this understanding of kind of a pressure release. It's very similar to kind of the horse training. Now what I like to do is once I realize... In my house, there is a rule. Don't bite me. I don't waste a single second trying to figure out why. I have no way of knowing what an animal is thinking. All I can see are his acts. It makes no difference why a puppy might bite me. I just know it's not acceptable conduct in my house. My pets do not engage in it because I don't do anything to encourage it in the first place. I don't need to yell, spray, or make a big fuss about it. I also feel that pet owners should think about what they are doing to encourage unwanted behavior to begin with. When you stop the flow of energy, the dog's behavior changes fast after they figure out where the energy is coming from. Neither I nor any of my other pets engage in this behavior. As a result, mouthing has a slim possibility of even being established within my household. Puppies know that you are not a littermate right away, so they should not treat you like one. Never do anything that would lead them to assume that you are an oddball canine substitute. You don't want to undo the work of Mother Nature when a puppy comes into your life. It's already set up for success. Let the universal truths of nature guide you. It would be a form of extinction, which is defined as the loss of a behavior as a result of lack of a reward. It's basic course in Psychology 101. If nipping or mouthing becomes a habit, you'd have to take preventative steps. Fortunately for my puppies, I have never acquired mouthing as a bad habit. It's incredible. You don't have to deal with trashy habits that should have never happened or developed in the first place that you have to train and fix later. My dogs and I enjoy spending time together, and we also cherish our freedom. I reside in a forested area in North Carolina with local deer to keep us company. My dogs must be attentive at all times. They can't possibly be barking at bears, deer, or squirrels. I have to put my faith in them to maintain their composure. I make no attempt to improve evolution. All you perceive when you look at wild creatures is magnificence. Then, we as humans come into the possession of them, and then all we perceive are problems. Because natural learning works for me, I cling to the path of least resistance, which is starting to come easily to me. Step 1 of mouthing: what are you doing to generate the unwanted behavior to begin with? If you don't find it out, situations that should be resolved in hours will take months, if not years, to resolve. So start making a list. Some examples can be found below. Number 1, do you pet your puppy on the head or face all the time? If this is the case, come to a halt. There are numerous pleasant spots to share affection with your dog than having your hands in their face all the time. Even for humans, it is not customary to greet your boss at work by touching their face. Yet we find it okay to do that to animals that we even have just met for the first time. 2, do you overexcite your puppy by speaking in a high-pitched voice? If this is the case, stop doing that. 4, do you become irritated when they mouth you or bite you and still engage with them on the floor at their level? Come to a complete halt and walk away if this is the case. 5, your puppy is not properly reading the human and environment, but instead, your puppy is reacting to the human and environment. Hence the old saying, learn to read the room. Your puppy, so to speak, is not reading the room. He's reacting to it. If the above structure isn't functioning, you'll need to hire an expert who can teach you how to do it properly. Separation anxiety and prevention. Remember, in the preceding pages, I indicated that latent learning is more about what not to do than what to do or how to do it. It's about putting an end to what's causing the issues in the first place. Puppygates are a major no-no in the world of latent learning. Puppygates are the number 1 cause of separation anxiety on our list. You might wonder why. Puppygates aren't really puppygates, but rather they're babygates. A baby gate, also known as a kid safety gate, is a barrier that keeps babies and toddlers out of parts of the house that are potentially dangerous, such as stairwells and kitchens. Keep in mind that I just said keeping them out, not keeping them in. Is there a distinction? Absolutely. Barriers meant for containment, like yard gates, baby gates, dog crates, and even a leash may induce barrier frustration. This can result in a variety of microbehavior issues such as fence fighting and separation anxiety. Separation anxiety is a component of 2 categories. 1, an imbalanced interest in the surroundings generated by overly enthusiastic people speaking in a high-pitched voice, overtraining, and fostering toy, ball, or food addiction in your training curriculum. In combination with 2, the physical barrier, such as a baby gate, crate, automobile, fence, kennel, leash, or even your house. When these 2 elements are combined, they will start to show as fixation, then obsession, then overexcitement, and finally, emotional frustration. Now let's take a look at what you've learned so far with the data you've just been given. How can we avoid separation anxiety in the future? The first component should be straightforward. For starters, cease doing all you can to prevent making mistakes with the first component. Have you worked out a way to get rid of the second component? You predicted correctly if you said no puppy gates. And this leads us to our next latent strategy. Boundary training. No puppy gates. Remove any baby gates and teach your puppy about household limits that aren't evident. Keep in mind, we're not containing a puppy to a specific area. We are choosing an area that is off limits to the puppy. Not being permitted in the kitchen or splitting your living room in half with your puppy on the portion furthest from the front entrance are 2 fantastic examples. This will also latently transfer to not rushing visitors at the door, jumping on you when you get home, bolting, and of course, even separation anxiety. There's no compliance, no directives, and no conversation on its part of the boundary. If your puppy approaches your side, just reposition them by the collar numerous times without saying anything. Your dog may cross the border if you're not home. But once you come home, you must quickly return them to their boundary. After enough repetitions, the dog will associate that boundary with your body posture and expression, even outside of your home. This will demonstrate to the puppy that your actions, expressions, and body language have meaning. You have value and purpose in his or her environment. One very crucial point to remember is that whatever you decide to set these boundaries, your puppy should be on the halfway point where you are. You are the motivator and value to the whole process to stay within that boundary. Your puppy is just not allowed to follow you off that boundary. While on your side, you should give your puppy the independence and body time it needs, as well as the opportunity to have fun and play. However, if the play should extend over the boundary, you should notice that your puppy comes to a stop. Crate training. Don't do it. The second reason for separation anxiety on our list is crate training. You may be wondering why. Keep in mind that I never said crates are harmful, but the crate training process certainly may be. When you convert your crate into a lesson about attempting to persuade your puppy to use it by tossing treats or using repetitive force, you're attracting too much attention and convincing, which can lead to mental irritation while learning. Even a food lure only rewards the behavior, not the crate itself. Remember that operant conditioning is not cognitive learning. Until the crate door closes, you really have no idea what the puppy is thinking. So how should you crate train your dog? When you're at home, leave the crate door open and let your puppy stay inside on their own. It should not be trained in any way. Create an open space where your puppy is protected from the environmental risks and leave their crate in the confinement area if you need to keep your puppy contained in an area. And consider it like a doghouse. Once in the yard, most dogs will explore and desensitize themselves to a doghouse. They'll figure out how valuable it is on their own. Over time, high-value incentives like a cow foot, marrow bone, or knuckle bone from your local butcher might be offered. Do not squander money on pet shop baked or processed hooves and bones. A butcher is a far better alternative, and a natural bone is far better for diverting unpleasant behavior in place of toys. Processed bones aren't always enough to motivate puppies to change their habits. Collars and harnesses. Let's get naked. In the house, puppies should never wear collars or harnesses. To better understand why, consider what a harness and leash are intended to do. Is it for the purpose of training and control? Then it's the polar opposite of what I'm attempting to share. While you're at home, free of distractions and danger, take advantage of the opportunity to become comfortable physically handling your puppy. This aids in touch conditioning and bonding. Also, shows the puppy that your behaviors, attitudes, and body language all have meaning. In his or her environment, you have worth and purpose. I like to share a shared experience with service dog clients and dog trainers. Many people are unaware of how mischievous service dogs can actually be. I frequently receive calls reporting service dogs that are jumping, pulling, or running out the door. When their service dog vest is worn, however, their behavior in public reverts to that of a model canine citizen. My dog only listens to me when he's wearing a pinch collar, but once it's off, he behaves badly. Another regular concern I hear from clients. Maybe your dog will only listen to you if you give him a reward. It's important to remember that canines have a strong ability to link behaviors and patterns. Off-leash training, the invisible leash. Instead of taking the puppy for a short leash walk, take your puppy to an open location where a training line can be set up, about 25-foot light clothesline or a paracord. Play hide and seek and race the puppy while you still can. Get away from your puppy. Turn the tables on the dogs who are always trying to get away from us. You see, dogs perceive speed as a source of strength. Hence, it is a true trait of leadership. When a dog knows you're slower, it's tough to establish genuine leadership. In dog packs, the slower animals are not usually the ones in charge. We must create the illusion of speed by racing extremely young puppies. They'll never forget how quick we are, despite the fact that they were slow at the time. Unfortunately, we teach dogs that people are slow in a variety of ways, and then we lose value to the dog as a result. Introducing dogs. When introducing a new dog, it's better to keep them completely apart at first, allowing them to gently introduce themselves latently, and then they'll naturally grow linked over time. The idea is to spend no time in the home allowing them to form any type of pack structure. The idea is to avoid having a gang of dogs. The idea is to create a community of autonomous thinkers who can work together or independently. You don't want a dog pack, you want a dog family. For this reason, when people first bring a puppy home, I generally say, keep the puppy with you for 2 to 3 weeks without meeting your existing dog. And don't isolate the puppy because the pack eats together and sleeps together. If you isolate the puppy immediately after it's left its litter, it will feel the sense of loss of its pack. It will howl, it will cry, it will get frustrated for safety reasons. But the fact that you won't let it sleep with you or in your room simply tells the puppy that you are not part of our pack. Puppy review. 1. Remove the toys. Give the dog a bone and never toss toys. 2. Take down all baby gates and teach your puppy about invisible household boundaries. 3. When you are at home, keep the grate door open and teach your puppy to stay inside with the door open. Let them do that on their own. 4. In the house, the puppy is always naked, which just simply means no equipment or collars. 5. Never take the puppy on a short leash walk. Instead, take them to an open area with a 25-foot training line. 6. Invisible latent leash. Play hide and seek. Race the puppy while you still have the chance. And 7. Do not make it a habit of allowing strangers to keep touching your dog's face all the time. There are other parts of the body that will carry across affection. It's said that an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure, and I hope that after reading this chapter, you have made the connections between current dog training and the association that fosters and blindly conditions behavioral difficulties. What if, on the other hand, your dog has already developed these problems? What can we do to undo the harm that has already been done?
Hi everybody, I'm Tony Nila, canine behaviorist. Imagine a world where our furry friends effortlessly blend their wild roots with our modern lifestyles. In our program, we delve into the remarkable world of wild canids as we explore their behaviors, their social structures, and their survival techniques. These insights serve as our foundation in our Neuro Nurture puppy raising program. As we venture into the world of domestic puppies, drawing inspiration from our wild counterparts, we've developed the Neuro Nurture puppy raising program. This system does not merely train puppies. It nurtures their minds and enriches their lives and empowers them to become confident, well-adjusted adults that are not just physically healthy, but also mentally robust. And this partnership promises a brighter future for our canid companions. Embrace the call of the wild and join us on this thrilling expedition into the minds of our beloved canines, and together we can shape the future of puppy development. In summary, the Neuro Nurture puppy raising program by Autonomous Canine bridges the gap between the wild and the domestic, creating a paradigm in puppy development. You have the power to shape the future. Join us, and together we'll embark on a journey to raise healthier, happier, and smarter puppies. I'm Tony Nila. You can contact me at tonynila@gmail.com or visit us at autonomouscanine.com. The Neuro Nurture puppy raising program, conceptualized by myself as a canine behaviorist with invaluable support from several mentors and applied animal behaviorists, offers a unique and innovative approach to raising a dog distinct from traditional methods. This program steers clear of operant conditioning, focusing instead on a deeper understanding of canine behavior and its psychology. It is a comprehensive journey that addresses the individual needs of each wolf dog and owner, fostering a strong bond based on trust and mutual understanding. The program's methodology is grounded in a clear, unbiased grasp of contemporary cognitive behavior, avoiding conventional operant conditioning techniques, instead emphasizing nurturing innate behaviors and latent learning, providing a more intuitive and natural learning experience. This approach begins in the safety of the owner's home, gradually introducing them to real-world settings to refine their skills in a supportive environment. The membership aspect of the program is a key component, encouraging owners to share their insights and experiences in a peer group setting. This collaborative approach not only enhances the learning experience, but also builds a community of informed and empathetic owners. The program includes workshops and seminars led by experts, covering a range of topics from canine health to behavior modification strategies, all within the framework of this unique training philosophy. Flexibility is a cornerstone of the program, accommodating the varied lifestyles and commitments of wolf dog owners. Whether participants are seasoned trainers or parents, the program is designed to suit their specific needs and availability. This adaptability ensures that all participants can fully engage with and benefit from the program, regardless of their background or experience level. In summary, the Neuro Nurture puppy raising program at Autonomous Canine, under my guidance, is an innovative and transformative approach to raising a puppy. It goes beyond traditional methods, offering a path that is effective and deeply respectful of the canine nature. This program is not just about training dogs. It's about nurturing a harmonious and understanding relationship between dogs and their owners. The program we are offering at Autonomous Canine is an extensive 12-month raising initiative, priced at $495 per month. Participants in this program will receive weekly group Zoom calls. These sessions, valued at $150 per month, involve analyzing video homework and providing continued education. They will also receive private mentorship. Each week, participants will meet with a certified behaviorist mentored by me personally for personalized coaching, and this includes emergency contact availability. This is normally valued at $100 per week. They also get unlimited access to a carnivore nutrition and wellness coach for 12 months. Participants have unrestricted access to coach for dietary planning and holistic health advice, usually costing around $90 per session. They get in-home training sessions as needed. Participants can receive private sessions with a trainer we have personally vetted, typically valued at $200 per session. They also get access to veterinarian phone consultations. These are included in the program and normally cost $90 per consultation. The total value of these services amounts to approximately $1,630 per month, offering a substantial value and expertise to participants. Our program has a proven track record of transforming lives of dogs. The program has created numerous success stories, showcasing its effectiveness and impact. One notable success story involves a previously anxious and poorly socialized dog. After enrolling in the program, the dog showed remarkable improvement in behavior, becoming more confident and well-adjusted. The owner credited the program's personalized approach and the mentor's expertise for this transformation. Another case involved a dog with a persistent behavioral issue, including aggression and disobedience. Through the program's structured training and latent learning, the dog's behavior significantly improved, leading to a happier and safer home environment. The owner expressed immense gratitude for the support and guidance provided by the program's mentors. The program's impact extends beyond just individual cases, though. Many participants have reported a deeper understanding of their dog's needs and behaviors, leading to a stronger bond between owners and their dogs. The program's emphasis on education and collaboration has fostered a community of informed and responsible wolves. The success stories are a testament to the effectiveness of our mentorship program by addressing individual challenges and fostering a supportive community. The program has made a lasting and positive impact on the lives of numerous dogs and their owners. This track record of success underscores the value and efficacy of the program's approach to puppy raising and behavior modification.